Hey, I'm Urman, Genomics Analyst at ARK Invest, and I'm about to tell you about one of the most innovative genomics advances from 2020, mRNA for vaccinology. So we've been hearing a ton about this lately, and that's because of the COVID vaccine for the current pandemic. But is this really a great investable opportunity for companies? So what exactly is mRNA, and how do these vaccines differ from traditional ones? mRNA vaccines, which stands for messenger ribonucleic acid, harness the body's own abilities and allows for the body to create proteins which can then fight off infection. Traditional vaccines use a weakened or killed form of the virus. However, more innovative vaccines use genetic material like mRNA. In vaccines, mRNA is the genetic code that allows for the production of antibodies, which is a protein that can identify and kill foreign substances like viruses or SARS-CoV-2. They also produce T cells, which are immune cells that can similarly kill foreign pathogens that are in the body. Moderana, Arcturus, CureVac, BioNTech, and Translate Bio have the most robust mRNA pipelines spanning infectious disease, rare disease, and oncology. Moderna leads the way with 8 infectious disease programs, 5 rare disease programs, and 4 oncology programs. The total addressable market here is quite large. So 105 billion for infectious diseases, 144 billion for rare diseases, 168 billion for oncology, and that gives us a total TAM of 417 billion. The challenges here come with a critical obstacle, which is the need for cold temperatures. This can cause a lot of difficulty with manufacturing and scalability, and that's especially important for the developing nations. Some companies are working on innovative solutions for this. One type of solution is called Liophilization, which essentially means you take all of the water out of the vaccine, it becomes a powder-like substance, and then when you're ready to give the injection to someone, you put the water back in. The bottom line is that some market participants may be undervaluing clinical trial pipelines by assuming the same clinical trial throughput that has traditionally been achieved. Using historical success rates, for example, you could conclude that the net present value of a preclinical asset in discovery is a little over 30 million. However, when you take into account the improvements attributed to next-generation sequencing, or NGS, artificial intelligence, or AI, and CRISPR and other gene therapies, ARK believes that this will boost efficiency, shorten development timelines, reduce failure rates, and ultimately increase returns on investments, perhaps dramatically. Let's break down why each of these 3 innovations are game-changing from a business standpoint. NGS should boost the success of clinical trials by identifying the patients most likely to respond to specific therapies. Genetic diagnostics, for example, have lowered failure rates by 45% in phase 3 lung cancer trials, and gene editing allows researchers to create animal models that mimic disease, which improves the likelihood of those drugs being commercialized and improves the potential for creating curative therapies. Next up is AI. That should reduce time to market by accelerating the recruitment for clinical trials, particularly by identifying the clinical trial sites with the largest relevant patient pools. It should help with patient retention and have the ability to create synthetic cohorts, which will reduce cost and time for clinical trial recruitment. Based on ARK's research on these technologies, biotech companies could harness them to accelerate time to market by 25% and reduce trial failures by 25%. Clinical trial pipeline evaluation is critical for proper investing. Based on ARK's research and with the inclusion of a 25% time to market improvement and failure rate reduction, a discovery asset in a clinical trial pipeline could have an NPV of approximately 140 million. That is more than 4x what you would conclude based on the historical rates of clinical trial failure and throughput. New data has shown that neural network-based algorithms could predict protein structures and therefore reduce preclinical costs, which account for 40% of total R&D expenses. If we take into account a 50% time to market improvement and failure rate reduction, then we could see a discovery asset's NPV rise to be around $485 million. That's going to do it for my mRNA deep dive. With major advancements being made in gene editing and gene therapy and other technologies, genomics will likely be one of the most intriguing investment themes for 2021. I'm Urman, Genomics Analyst at ARK Invest. Thank you all so much for watching.